It's our 16th birthday party! Are we so excited?
Salad.
Jonathan, you were there from the beginning.
Yes.
You were what, 3?
2.5, actually.
2.5.
Yeah. So.
The start of GCHope
Yep.
in your garage.
I'm going to turn the air on.
Oh, the air. We even get air conditioning.
It is getting a little warm.
It is a celebration.
Yeah, it's a big day when we're allowed to turn on the air.
Jessica asked me to give a speech. Janice said she forgot the teleprompter, so I've got to do this on my own.
Oh, look out.
So here we go. This is difficult. This is kind of touching because it's 16, you know? Sweet 16. We are 16 years old today. Started off, I must stand, that's right. Started off with a small box that's still out in the warehouse that we used to push in our church every Sunday to get product in. And for the took us 9 months to get our first container out. That went to St. Petersburg, Russia, Anatoly's hometown.
Woo woo!
You're from Anatoly, yes. St. George's Medical Hospital, which is where Anatoly worked and was director. So that was the beginning. And Bill Darland, who is here, Bill and I met, and it was through Friendships, which is another organization, which was Park West Children's Fund, that we did our first containers. And then they got tired of us bugging them, and they said, go do it on your own. So we did. So that's kind of how we got our humble beginnings. We went from there to rented warehouses that we had in Corona, California. Corona's not here, but we could hear for Corona. We were in Corona for about, I'd say 4 years, moving from warehouse to warehouse to warehouse. Finally moved out of Corona to our, we thought, final resting place, which was Placentia, California. A nice 40,000 square foot facility that was the old Bradford packing house, where they used to pack grapefruit and oranges. We had a basement there where Anatoly worked. He was the mad scientist in the basement. We had a biomed room, and Marius at that time was running the warehouse as well. The metal plates you see out here used to sit over the top of the floor. The basement was underneath, and if you were underneath and the forklift was running, the floor creaked, and you could hear it. And you wondered if the forklift was going to come through. And sometimes it did go through the floor, and we had to get some sticks and another forklift and a bunch of people and get it bailed out. That was a wonderful warehouse. That was in downtown, Old Town Placentia. So near and dear. I mean, I love that place. The thing at night was so special about that warehouse is that the rats would line up on the beam, and there would be thousands of them. You would see their tails hanging down, waiting for the lights to turn on. Because as soon as they did, they dove into the product. So every morning we had to kind of clean things up and make a way for the next day. But all in all, it was just a place that we had an elevator that went down to the basement where Anatoly was, building on things we don't even know to this day what they were. Randy used to work out in the front. Randy and Vinny, they had a food ministry. They had a trailer in the back, and every Friday they would serve 200 to 300 people right out there in our parking lot with food boxes. It was awesome. So it was a lot of good memories there. We had a lot of friends, grew the organization. But then the city of Placentia decided that they wanted to turn that into high-density living, and I think it's commercial buildings on the bottom now. And so they kicked us out, and we were wandering like people lost in the desert. I was so upset with God. I was mad. This was a place I thought we were going to be forever. I even tried to buy those warehouses, believe it or not, and the city beat me out. So anyway, we ended up, every time we would go to a warehouse, somebody would buy it out from under us. So we would go to the next one, because it was cheaper at that point to buy warehouses than it was to lease them. So all the small business loans people were getting, they were buying warehouses. We finally ended up here at this facility. The people that owned this, it was Gardner Lithograph. It was a printing company. They had gone bankrupt, and they had lost everything. Their printing business had gone belly up, and they had taken a loan out with City National Bank wonderful City National Bank, and they couldn't get out of the prepayment penalty. The prepayment penalty was like $500,000, so they couldn't get out of it. So they had to lease the building. So guess what? We came along and we said, we'll take a lease option on the building, and they said, fine, we know you'll never buy it, we're not worried about it, so they priced it out and gave it to us, and 3 years later, God gave us the money to buy this building. So this is now our home. And we're at 40, we have 43,000 square feet, as you all know, and this is a wonderful staff. I don't know if you're videoing, but if you are, they're all wonderful, and they help run what we do. And I'm just excited about the next 16, 20, 30 years that we go, that God has us, that I'm here anyway. And I'm excited about what's going to happen. 30 years, I'm a little right. I'll be turning 50. I knew it. That'll be my 50th birthday. Anyway, God bless you all. And if you have any questions, don't ask me because I don't have any answers. Because God runs this place. You need to know God's done it all. I take no credit whatsoever except for being available. If you're available, God can do amazing things in your life. That's it.
Yay!
Give God a hand. Amen.
Wilderness operation. I think as soon as I was 16, I'm with Global for 14, actually, 13 years.
By 13, I think. Yeah.
Almost from the very beginning. So first impression. I don't remember exactly who introduced John. One day he came to my hospital, we became friends, and since that we are together like brothers. Sometimes there's a contradiction, but it's mainly, it's not really a contradiction, like two brothers, you know, at each other, nothing really serious between us. So, first container that came in 90s in Russia, total mess, state collapse, state system collapsed, do whatever you can to survive, big hospital, 740 beds, and almost nothing, no finances and whatever. So survive, do whatever you want. So international relations, it became part of my kind of business. There's a humanitarian aid. I work with different organizations, including direct relief, but main was global. All of a sudden, John. And my staff felt it right away, hospital staff. As soon as there's a crisis with supplies over there, Anatoly, can you do something? Can you call your friend John? Maybe he will do something. I'll try. There's a call, there's a pleasant conversation. In 2 months, there's a container, and hospital is in. So we survived at these hard times. I mean, hospital, probably only because humanitarian. Of course, it was coming from different countries, but still main. And my loud one is from the United States. We got supplies, we got food, we got even medicines, so whatever. At that time, custom regulations were not so tough, so it was easy to move cargoes. In addition, when you're occupying some position in society, you go directly to custom officials and the problem is solved. Sometimes because of pleasant conversation, sometimes it's flowers for lady, sometimes it's kind of bribe, by the way, so whatever. At that time you don't have too much choices to survive, you do whatever possible. The hospital survived, and later I decided, well, the country decided to move in a direction that I don't like. I was at John, we had a pleasant conversation one day, and I'm here. So thanks to John, I'm an American citizen, and I find you fatherland over here. Okay, so thanks to Global, thanks to John.
Thanks to God.
Well, my favorite memory back then was doing inventory in the basement, where the walls were made of dirt and the rats lived, and that was fun. Now I do the same thing here. So.
Minus the rats.
Minus the rats.
And the dirt walls.
It's basically the same thing. So thank you all. You guys are the best. That's it.
What I like is that I don't have to blow them out because God keeps blowing them out. That's really good.
What is the fan? There he is.
Don't spit.